A new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. A man who was lost for the year in Week 4 last season. Here's Javonte Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, here's Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I know some guys, they love to start the year off with a deep shot downfield, trying to begin things with a home run ball. That might be the more exciting option, but I think that this was the smarter play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, this, of course, is an intriguing Week 1 opener. On one sideline, you've got Josh McDaniels, Raiders head coach. But remember, back in Denver, where he was the head man in 2009 and 2010 as well. And on the other sideline, Sean Payton making his debut as head coach of the Broncos.
Two established coaches, both of them made their bones on the offensive side of the ball. And Sean Payton won a Super Bowl as the head coach of the Saints. This is going to be fun to see that bench race.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now Wilson running left on the option. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 6 yards there on the keeper at second down. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
This 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And Judy's going to have a Broncos first down as he's brought down at the 16. Well, that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by Lutz is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And shoves him off at the 20. And he returns this to the 22.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. A first carry for the all-pro running back. It's Josh Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
11.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, his first throw of the season is intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. You had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means a free safety with range, like a good center fielder. He can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mims in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to first down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Still on his feet. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Tim Patrick, 52 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. So we've got a few for 2023. A lot of procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about... There he goes left side. Inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, 62 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, we're used to seeing big plays from him in the passing game. That'll obviously go as a rushing touchdown, and what a rushing touchdown it was.
And you got to think to yourself that this coaching staff has looked at his playmaking ability and said to themselves, why are we just going to throw it to him? Let's double his touches and make him a big part of the run game. That big playability, it was at the forefront on that one.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Play action. Now Wilson. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. That'll give him 8 that time. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Third down at 6.
Block that. 14, got it.
To throw is Wilson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a short gain down to about the 33. Patrick Surtain, the all-pro corner, up to make the tackle. 10-7 our score after one, right here on EA Sports.
Raiders 7.
Here we go.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
One, Omaha.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And his throw is incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing is Wilson. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Judy fell just shy of his first 1,000-yard season last year and showed just how good a playmaker he can be. One big reason why the Broncos have told everyone he's staying in Denver.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 23, here's 2nd down and 2. Now a give, right side. It's McLaughlin. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. The Broncos Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. Good job right there. Good job right there. Stunt.
Here's Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos are able to extend their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him. Well, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, the offense, they'd really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
Lutz with the extra point. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The returner, Trey Tucker, going to bring this one out. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Dances by him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Jacobs will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Carlson on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's now 23-14.
Makes the score Broncos 23, Raiders 14.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now this offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down now. It's McLaughlin. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Judy. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Up the middle they go. McLaughlin. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, this is a new concept. It's 3rd down, but they've got the punt unit on. And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt. Now, I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Zebra.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A 60-yard attempt.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that'll keep this a 9-point game.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Here we go.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. But now a fake on the jet sweep, and here's Garoppolo off play action. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's 2nd and 3.
21. Here we go. Stand.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. It will be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. And that'll keep this a 9-point game. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
On play action, now Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
13.
Garoppolo. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throwing interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now Wilson, option right. A carry for the fullback. This is Mike Burton. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They try the left side here with Williams. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And they'll accept that penalty. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. It fights him off. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Foul. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And that ball popped free. We could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 51 yards on the ground for him so far. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
4th down. Here's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. There he goes, left side. Room to run at the 50. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Here we go.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Jacobs going to try the middle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Garoppolo changing the play. He'll look to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here we go, here we go,
The
here we go.
offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Scheming his guy open, just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Here we go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now Garoppolo. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs, able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
2nd and 6. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Garoppolo now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So off is Garoppolo, and in comes Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run.
Still going. He's on his way. Javonte Williams.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams.
77 yards.
And the Broncos are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trailed big in this fourth quarter. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. Running right through it. Breaks through the contact. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here. Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
On second down, Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
65 yards on the play. But it's third down.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Garoppolo. Got to have this one. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 8. This to Jacobs on the toss right. He will push his way down to about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! Davante Adams. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. This opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but yeah, that touchdown may be a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. A solid stiff arm. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And this offense on third down today, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now Lutz for the field goal try.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go, here we go,
The
here we
Las
go.
Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
Here we go.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And they take a knee. And they will take a knee here.
was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little